Paul, as somebody who's been around this business a long time, what do you think of the skinny bundle? Is that a term we should just leave behind, or does that apply in your world? Because of course, you're an unusual and unique super aggregator, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Yes, for sure. So most certainly, we can see, I mean, it's kind of amazing when you sit there and you look at like where the cable penetration was in 2015 and where it is sitting today, right? Nearly around 71% of television households. And so it's still important, right? It still reaches 71% of television households. It's just a less important, right, in terms of our overall ecosystem. And I think, we've seen the rise of the Fubos, the Philos, and otherwise that are looking to address various components of that. Fubo leaning more into sports, right? Philo leaning more into the skinny bundle and those services. What I think we've seen at the same time is people have begun to supplement or trade off, right, from those cord nevers into this other ecosystem of, app-based development streaming services. We see in most television households, right? If you think about the US, between Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus, they have nearly 65% global share of SVOD services. If you add in the US, HBO Max and Hulu, you have nearly 75% concentration among 5 various players. What we see though, so what that means, right, a high degree of concentration, even those 300 services. The second thing is we're seeing a lot more in the third and fourth choice of their service. They're doing a lot more app hopping. So it's kind of like, hey, I came in for this show, and now it's very easy to unsubscribe. Now let me find the next show. Let me find the next show. So I think that's kind of the way of the world in terms of looking for people to kind of manage their budgets and try and figure out efficient ways to be able to get the content they want to watch. The reason Stream, right, exists, and the reason what we're trying to do is trying to really help those services that sit in the medium to long tail of the pipe and say, one is, here's a great way for you to discover. Here's a new front porch, right? And a new model with this credit-based model. The second piece is let's help you win the habit and discovery through the use of these recommendation engines. I can see from my own past history with Hulu that time spent on the platform will significantly increase when you have more to offer, right, in terms of recommendation engines. And the third is thinking about that app hopping experience, right? Is how do you actually become part of the habit, and not necessarily you can manage that app hopping experience all through our service. So that's some of the goals of what we have to be able to win the more, I would say, mind share, time share, economic share, right, of the pie for those medium to long tail services. And I think that's going to be part of the way the ecosystem kind of continues to develop and grow.